Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Farming Simulator. I ain't done one in a minute, dude. So, got some new things for you. Got some things to talk about, but I got a couple new tractors to show you. Black Cow Ranch is not all John Deere tractors anymore, so yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. So, but it should be a good episode. So let's get rolling here. I did a little tweaking to these tractors. I got a little more, or I did some more editing to these tractors. I have to edit them some more. I gotta do some tweaking. The exhaust doesn't exactly line up, but I've got a 1066 black stripe, and that's going to take place at 4230. And we got a 966 black stripe that's taking place of the 4020. Like I said, I have to. You can see the stack is a little bit far back. I got to slide that forward just a little bit and bring it out a little bit. But all in all, I mean, they're pretty nice tractors. They look good. You can get them in all different kinds of options. Cab, no cab, normal stripes, black stripes. You can even get ROPS on there, which I might do it, but it's got the canopy on it, so I might delete the canopy off and just leave the ROPS. I've got to add fenders to them, but anyways, since these two are replacing a couple tractors, let's get it done. And I don't know a 66 series that doesn't blow some black smoke, so I had to add some there. So yeah, I think actually I need to get away from the wall a little bit here. There we go. What the hell? Jeez, I don't know why you get, out of it so far away, but I guess, and end up on the wall. But a little adjustment, I guess, we're gonna have to go through here. But we gotta mix some feed here. But no, I have pretty much decided that we're going to the tractors I'm going to get for down south when I'm doing my farm, hay farming and stuff. I've decided I'm going to get a 1066 black stripe, international, and then I'm going to get a Deere 4430. The 1066, I prefer it to be open station just because it's easier to deal with. The cabs on there didn't look horrible. They're just old technology, old cabs. The Soundguard Deere cabs are pretty damn nice. Now the IH ones, I don't know about the old, like International Zypro cabs. But I do know the Hinnaker cabs fucking suck. So I didn't particularly care for those. They're noisy as shit. All they want to do is pop and bang and rattle and all that other bullshit. So for me personally, when I go to buy my 1066, which I'm probably going to end up buying it first, and I did this test. My son, I asked my son, what should Dad get first, the 1066 or the 4430? And he smiled when I said 1066. So we're going to go with that one first. But yeah. But yeah, overall pretty well detailed. Radio and stuff on there and all that kind of whatnot. So I mean, but you know, it's fairly detailed. Some of it's not exactly perfect, but that's okay. I can deal with that. And of course I had to add the big curl pipe on it. There's not too many 66 series around me running around without one. And every fucking one of them blows a bunch of black smoke, so. And then once we get this done up, we're actually going to cut some hay. We're going to make some more hay. Don't know if I'm going to sell it or not. Probably could afford to put some more in the barn. Screen that real quick. But yeah, we just decided, since I'm getting a 66 series at some point here, I decided I was gonna change up a couple tractors, put a couple of the 66 series here in the game. So yeah, the 966 is a very common mixing tractor. 986 is a pretty popular as well. So but we're gonna get going cutting some hay. We're not gonna use the 4430 this time. We're actually gonna use the old 1066 to cut some hay. Normally I wouldn't, but I'd still be using the 4430, but we kind of want to show off 66 series here a little bit. So yeah, that's the plan. At some point, get one of those, and it's not going to be. I'm gonna pull with it. Well, and the other part of the reason is I want to fucking win when I pull. But it's not going to be, I'm not going to build it too hot to farm, you know, like that. I'm going to make sure that the 1066 has plenty of balls. You know, I want at least, you know, 150 or so, but we'll see. But it ain't going to be strictly a pulling. It's something I'm going to be using on the farm. So, you know, for my making hay and whatnot, but it's also pulled, so it's not going to be built to be like a too hot farm tractor or anything like that. So, which, who knows? I mean, if I found the right deal on a 1466, I'd probably go for that too. But 10 would fit in pretty well for what I need, and the 1066 and the 4430 are be about the same amount of horsepower, so it'll be, we'll have a couple of, both my tractors will probably be around the same horse. I might get smaller ones eventually, but it's better to have a little more power than not enough. So now we're going to get the old tin out. We're going to cook some hay. Like I said, normally I'd be using the 4430, but I kind of want to show off the old 66 series here a little bit. Like I said, the 10 replaced the 4230, which normally the 966 could fill that role, but I didn't want two 966s, so, especially with my plans. I want to buy a nice 10. It's got to be a black stripe. I mean, if it's not a legitimate black stripe, I can always make it that way. And I know there's going to be some people who are going to be pissed off and be like, oh, why would you take a tractor that's not a black stripe and make it a black stripe? Why is it every other fucking 1256, 1026, or 826 I see has been turned into a fucking gold demonstrator? How many of those fucking things are supposed to be made? But should be plenty enough power to cut hay, so there should be no problems there. But yeah, like I said, this is going to take place the 4230, so which in all reality, in my plans, this is going to take the place of the 4230 in my plans. So let's see, which one of these fields did I want to cut? I think this is the one I usually do, so if I hay those, it's a little flatter. We're gonna get this cut up, get this thing done. But yeah, it's probably a little weird to see some red tractors here on my farm, but you know, it is what it is. And there really hasn't, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, well, and even 80s, well, 60s, 70s, and the 80s more particular, there really wasn't a bad tractor out there for business. There really wasn't. It didn't matter what brand it was. That was at a time they were all trying to compete and be the best and all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I don't feel that is a bad tractor that came out of those eras. And so it's kind of nice to see some different brands. I don't know if you're tired of seeing the old John Deeres, but I definitely, my grandpa Leonard was a die-hard Deere guy, and even he said he wouldn't mind having a 1066. So for me, since then, I've always kind of liked it. It's just whatever. But part of the reason I'm getting a 1066 is I know I talked before about my son being born and things, but unfortunately, my father-in-law had passed away here about 3 weeks ago. It's been a very, very tough thing to deal with. I don't know. I honestly don't know how my wife's doing it right now, taking care of the kid and also trying to deal with that too. But Jesse was a great guy. I loved him probably more than my own father, to be completely honest. He was just an all-around amazing guy. I mean, obviously he had his faults. Nobody's perfect. But he was always there for you when you needed him. You know, he had an issue with your vehicle and you couldn't figure it out. He was there. You know, you just need a little bit of help here or there doing something. He was there. I mean, you had some kind of issue that you didn't. He was just an approachable guy for one thing. So, I mean, you had any sort of problem or issue, you could talk to him, and he wouldn't judge you. He didn't hate anybody. He didn't, well, except for maybe my wife's grandmother. But other than that, I don't think he really necessarily hated anybody. He was just an all-around really good guy. It was hard not to like him. It really was, and it's definitely a hard pill to swallow. Definitely a tough thing to deal with, and all that kind of stuff. But part of the reason I'm wanting to buy a 1066 is, number one, my Uncle Ken had one in the past. On my dad's side of the family, my sister, or my Aunt Deb's husband. But yeah, my Uncle Ken had one in the past, and so part of the reason I want that. But the other thing too was Jesse was kind of dabbling a little bit into the tractor pulling type thing, and so he was farting around with Cub Cadets mostly, which, if you know anything about those Cub Cadets, and Kenny's actually got a couple really nice Cub Cadets. That one he made, it's a miniature 1066, and another one's a miniature 786. So if you know anything about those tractors, those little Cubs, they look like the 66 series or 86 series. And so that's part of the reason why I want to go with a 1066. Number one, I want to win. I want to show my son what it's like to win a tractor pulling. But they're an all-around good tractor. And like I said, Jesse was kind of getting into that a little bit. And so, I think a nice 1066 black stripe would pay him, honor him well. But in fact, the name of the tractor is going to be Jesse's Dream, and I'll either put that on the hood or I'll put it on the fender. And so what I'm going to do with Jesse's Dream is, I want a black stripe. I prefer legit, whatever. But if I have to make one, I will make one. And then, like I said, there's going to be people that are going to bitch because, oh, it's not legitimate, it's not whatever. And, like I said, how many fucking gold demonstrator fucking 56, 06, and 26 series do you see out there? But yeah, what I want to do is I want a black stripe because I love those. I love the black stripes. I prefer those. And they were different and cool, and a little on the rare side, kind of like Jesse was. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing that. But the other thing I'm going to do with it is I'm going to paint it the original IH red. It's going to be IH red, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put silver metallic flake in with the red. Now I know there's a lot of piercing. Why the hell would you do that? It's a farm tractor for one thing. Listen, this is something I wanted. I've wanted a 66 series since I was a kid. I've always thought they were cool. But this is something I want to do for him because he had an 06 Dodge 1500. It was red and it had a silver top on it. So actually, my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, still has a truck and she's not even driven. So that's why I want to do it. I want to paint it international red and put the silver metallic flake in it, just as a tip to him, tip of the hat to him there. And then of course also the tractor's name is going to be Jesse's Dream. Just because I think he would think it was cool. So, but that's gonna be a little ways in the future. I mean, we're talking probably at least a good 2-3 years from now. It's gonna be after I buy my skid steer and my trailer at some point. I may buy the other second gen before I buy the 1066. I don't know yet. But we'll see how things go. And also, see what kind of a deal I can find on one. I don't care if the tins look like shit, the paint looks like shit, because I want to repaint it anyway. As long as it runs and drives good and the TA's not out of it, we'll be good to go. Because then what I'm also going to use that tractor for is, that's going to be the main tractor that I use for my brother and I want to get into doing some hay. So that's going to be the main tractor for a while until I go ahead and buy a 4430. So, and then I'll probably buy that at some point, but it's going to be, you know, cutting hay, maybe doing a little raking depending on what tractor my brother gets. But it'll probably be cutting hay and probably round baling. But we'll see how things go. And then once I get the 4430, the 1066 will probably mainly be just round baling tractor. Or I may put it on the hay bind, and it'll be a hay bind, you know, cutting tractor. But we'll see. I mean, we'd have to see how it would run the Discbine that I want to get. I want to get probably a 9-foot. Probably going to go with a Deere Discbine or New Holland. I mean, CaseIH really wouldn't matter. I mean, it's all the same shit. So, yeah. So more than likely, that's what we're heading to. Like I said, more than likely, I'm going to end up getting the 66 series first. So, I mean, it might make some of my family upset, but fuck them. Yeah. It's fine. But, you know, it is what it is. So, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if I got enough fucking time, I might just say the hell with it and buy a 766 to replace the 3020. Oh, man. But, yeah, I don't know, like I said, back in the day, there wasn't a tractor that was produced that was a pile of shit, in my opinion. You know, there really wasn't. And there's a lot of farms you see have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of farms that are strictly red or strictly green or what have you, but there is quite a few farms that that have a little bit of both. So, yeah, and like I said, my dad's family will probably be pissed off when I buy a 66 International. But, fuck him. My Uncle Ken is going to be laughing his balls off. So, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be IH red with silver metallic, and it's going to be called Jesse's Dream. So, that's what we're going to, that's the plan anyway. I mean, buying the tractor, obviously, you know, if I want to, I'm going to pull with it. And like I said, it's because I want to win. That's the main reason. I want to buy a 66 series. But the other reason why I'd prefer to have an open station is you save weight when you go to pull. So you can put it where you fucking need it. Now mine, I want to get, it's going to have the 2 post wraps, probably without the canopy. And then, it'll have front fenders on it. Now I need to spin this around. Because otherwise I'm starting halfway in the loop here. Spin this around and I'll cut the other side. axle I don't give a fuck about. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to try to pick it up in there. Just kick this on. But yeah, that's the plan anyway, so I say these 66 Series Internationals look really fucking nice. The 66 and 86, in my opinion, are probably two of the best looking Internationals ever produced. Now the square body Magnums, on the other hand, are pretty fucking badass. I really enjoy those tractors too. They're very, very nice tractors, very good tractors. They really don't have a whole lot of issues with them. The only problem I don't like about these older 66 and the 86, I think the 88s are the same way. If your hydraulics go out, so does your fucking brakes. So, and your steering. That's the only thing I don't particularly care for. But, what are you gonna do? So I think, honestly though, if you try to keep things up to snuff, you don't abuse the shit out of stuff, I think you'd usually be alright. And especially if you're not going to be going that far, hauling that much ass, you'd be alright. And since we're probably going to be using this to windrow, we might as well just go ahead and leave it out. Might just leave the fucking thing dirty too. And then we're going to use the 9 again to do the windrow. So. I think you can get a 766 in this pack, which it might actually work out better because they've got the hitch up spot, so then the fucking thing won't be nosediving. So we might actually just go ahead and buy a fucking 766. And then that'll replace the 3020. So then we'll have 3 IHs and 3 John Deeres. So, I guess whatever. And the 7's gonna have a big fucking stack on it too, so, but whatever. Do sell the old 320 because I'm pretty sure you can get a 9, so, or a 7. Let's see, we go over to Complete 66 series. Yeah, you can get a 7. And of course we're going to go with a black stripe. But yeah, we're gonna make this about 66 series, I guess. This video. We might end up doing another video at some point with the probably raking some hay and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna wash it out. I don't want it all dirty. And once we get this backed up, we're gonna go get our 766, and we'll get the header out. That's the one thing, the 66 series is pretty comparable to the Deeres at that time. So, I mean, they covered their bases pretty well when it came to horsepower ranges. And we're gonna end up having to make another batch of shit. Oh. Wow. Not the right one. There we go. And I don't think we're going to put weights on this. For what we're going to be using this tractor for, we really don't need any weight. I mean, it's just going to be for tedding and things like that. The one thing is they're all the same size. And I think the 7s were actually a little bit smaller frame. But they don't have a 6, so... Probably if I'd have had this switched around and had this one bought too, you know, we wouldn't be wasting time. But it is what it is, so. But no, one thing I guess I did forget to mention is, got Kenny's tractor painted, not this previous weekend, but the one before. There's WD Alice. It turned out pretty nice. So, fuck it, we're gonna cut these videos. Normally I don't do shit like this. We'll run out of time. So, but yeah, this is all about the old fucking 66 series international series. So now I guess we got a 7, a 9, and a 10. Now it shouldn't be all fucking dragged up and scrunched down and all that shit. Which I may end up switching to 9 for an 86 series maybe, we'll see. it goes a little faster too. So, yeah, I don't know. Which I guess you can actually fucking turbocharge the 9s and turbocharge the 7s. I just need to have some more work done to them, I guess. Something about changing fuel tanks and oil injection or some shit like that. But yeah, you can actually do that, so. Recording this video right now, so I'm not gonna it's not gonna go up tonight, so it'll probably be tomorrow night at some point later this week. So that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the video, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and stay tuned till the next episode.